Okay, this is the what is it, September 14th Extracurricular Committee meeting. I'm Steve Miller, the chair. If we'll go around for a roll call, introduce yourselves.
Tiny Bell.
Julie Olafson.
Okay.
Eileen Schmidt.
All right. Thanks, everyone. It looks like we have a full committee. First time in a while.
I know.
And Dr. Cooper has joined us. Well, let's start off on the agenda. The first item is fan discussion. Fan discussion.
Okay.
Do you want me to open that up?
Yes, please.
Okay, so on Thursday we'll meet as an athletic director group of Fort Berks. We've gone through many different scenarios in terms of letting fans into the outdoor events. We just won't be able to do it for the indoor for volleyball. And they've come down to three options: a punch card, where depending on how many each school calculates in terms of what they can let into a game. They'd have a punch card for parents mostly, to be honest with you, for each game that they go to. The next choice was a voucher system, which I was for. That way you can tear it off and give it to a grandparent or someone else. And the third one was a pass list, which none of us wanted to really take a bite out of, because that would change for every game and it would just be a really difficult mess. Right now, what we're looking at, when we look at our totals out in the stadium, we have to keep everything under 250, so that includes both teams. When it comes to football, that includes the band and cheer. We're at about 25 people that we'd be able to let into football. And that comes down to a question of who we want those 25 to be. When it's field hockey and boys soccer and girls soccer, we're okay. We're at like 150 where we can let in there. So we'll easily be able to let each kid have at least 2 tickets. But when it comes down to football, that's I guess the discussion question for you all. I have my ideas where you say you start with the senior parents and you go from there. Some people are letting in students instead of senior parents or any parents. It's just a question of which direction we want to go. We're going to have about 25.
How many games will we have here?
Right now we are at, the Methacton game is on the schedule still, but that's a no.
Okay.
Because the PAC has moved to, they have to play all their conference games first.
Right.
So I've just left it on there.
We've left it open in case we can get another.
It's going to replace. We already know that the Conestoga Valley game this weekend, this Friday, is canceled.
Right.
We've already replaced it with Twin Valley.
Okay.
I'm getting 8 to 10 emails every day from different sports looking for games because someone has tested positive on the other side.
So that means what? Maybe 5 home games?
I think we're at 5 right now. Yep.
Does that sometimes include people coming from another team? Or
No,
only
25 is just what's left after we've counted both teams, all the game workers, the band, the cheer, the ambulance driver, the people everybody gets counted.
So basically, everyone's going to have to understand that if it's your kid, if it's your team's home game, it's those people who are getting chosen among to come.
You're not going to make it away football conference.
Yeah.
We already know this weekend, Friday at Twin Valley, we're not going to have any.
Yeah, sure.
And I agree with that. Like, I think we should be allowed home games.
Under these circumstances, I would lean towards the parents. But are there others that are doing something like Wilson's planning or trying to do?
Some people are saying nobody.
Okay.
I can say Berks Catholic reached out to us to bring our band and cheer so they could make 250, so they wouldn't have to deal with trying to figure out who this 25 would be.
Wilson's having like 700, 699, I think is what
we gotta. That's not going to work.
Okay.
I understand what they're trying.
They're splitting it into 2 halves.
A memo came out from the PIAA to not cross that 250 threshold.
Sure. Yeah.
Because they think it will It could cause a problem with, well, it could cause a problem with that legislation that's out there.
Well, yeah, I guess that is the other question. That is, did he veto that, or?
I'm not sure. I don't think he has yet, but he's going to. He's supposed to.
He has 10 days, but they have enough votes to override that veto. So.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that will take.
Yeah, that's right. That could be a couple weeks out.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we need to prepare for
Sure.
the 25 for football, and
Yep.
I think we're okay.
This is going to be awful. How about if we had it be one game, if we're going to have 5 games, how about if one game was senior parents, junior parents, sophomore, freshman, and then like the homecoming game would be all students.
Could do that. We can also talk to Coach Flowers about how many freshmen and how many sophomores really play at the varsity level.
Right, and
because we'll have
that's
Monday
true.
we'll have a JV game here Monday.
Right.
Which
Now,
will be wide open.
seniors, it's interesting. Like, for example, I don't know what the situation, do you know what the situation is in cheer for seniors?
I think there are 4.
Yeah, the seniors in band, 4.
And then football
You know,
5.
And yeah, so that might be a situation where they could have like, I don't know, one family member, and then we could like give, do a lottery for kids for the other position, for the other spots. I don't know.
I have to be honest, like, I'm just going to put it out there, and maybe other people aren't going to like it. I'm sure they probably aren't. I don't have a senior, I have a sophomore, and my kids are a senior, and we only have 5 games. I do feel strongly that the seniors' parents should have more opportunity to set up their
That's
classes.
fine. I mean,
Absolutely.
but I have a senior, and I want it, but I still want it to be available to as many people as possible.
I have a sophomore, and I just personally think that her senior year is obviously the last year I'll be able to see her, and this year stinks, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree.
I just
Yeah, I think parents
parents
have the
the
students.
homecoming, like
Have it be more for,
the kids,
The kids.
to be able to go.
But how you only have 25, so,
But
Yeah.
you have 25.
That is
you
true.
know,
yeah.
it's true. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
But that's my opinion. My opinion, and I'm not the parent of a senior. I'm a sophomore, and I just think that senior parents should be able to attend games. And we all have the other opportunity. There's cameras in the song, correct?
They're not up yet, but they will be.
But they
The one
will.
outside will be for sure.
So
I gotta say, I'm not showing up to every game. I got a senior, but I'm not showing up to every game. And neither's my husband. And so if I'm offered more opportunities than just one to go see my kid, I'd be perfectly willing to say I don't need it, give it to somebody else. But the parents of the starting lineup of the football team might feel differently. So.
I mean, okay, so let's talk. So the hill above the city.
We can
Oh, I
talk
was
about-
thinking about that too.
We can talk about this because this is something else.
How is that restricted? Is it restricted?
Well, it's dark and it creates a security
It does.
problem
Originally,
when it's not daytime.
right? Originally, when it was no fans, we had a pretty good plan.
Yeah.
You're limiting from the parking lot to the parking lot of allowing people up. And they said we could have fans. It opened up a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
And my concern always was our football games have a tendency to be a drop off for middle school
Yes.
kids. And my concern at night, especially with now you can have fans, right?
And especially if they're not paying to get in.
Yep, and they're just sitting out there. We can't. It would be, I don't want people tailgating.
No, I know.
Yep. So the hill is another concern. Who we're letting into the 25, and then who else is going to sit on the hill or in the back of the hill, and how we're going to monitor that, and how we're actually going to police, not just inside the stadium but outside. Are you wearing your mask? Because we know they have to wear their mask. Are they social distancing out there?
Yep.
It's a nightmare. It really is. And those are things that
what is the district's responsibility in that case?
Yeah.
Because if they're choosing to do that,
Mhm.
and it's not in our stadium.
But it's still on school
It's still
property.
on school
Yeah.
property.
Right, so it is
And then
our
we opened it up to the
responsibility.
middle school where it's not on our property. You know, that's a whole nother something. I doubt we'll ever have 250 out at a middle school girls soccer game, so I'm not sure we
Yeah.
have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But we do get a pretty good crowd out we do get a good crowd out at middle school football.
Sure.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And we do get a good crowd for some of those, for boys soccer.
But is on the hill and
Yes.
the parking lot
Yep.
considered separate 250 areas?
It is. It is. I consider it a separate 250 area. And
I mean, if we had a plan for earlier, we put them on the hill, we can use like some temporary lighting or something. And then can we say we're only allowing parents or high school students on the hill? We can say that.
some other schools have, before we went to
Right.
even when they were in, you knew people were going to show up, even when we were at
Yeah.
right? You knew people were still going to show up, yeah.
Mhm.
Some other schools have mentioned that they have blocked off sections similar to, like, say, what you would do if you went to an outdoor concert,
Yeah.
like down in Philly, where they block off you're in your parking spots,
Yeah.
and you can't leave that. You know, you're in your family unit in that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know once they allowed fans, how we limit or how we close that off, unless you make a pass list of fans, and we do it similar to how we do parking currently for football, where you have to be on the pass list to get up there. But it's not going to stop people from walking up and
No.
No.
Could I just throw a wrench into this?
Yeah,
You
sure.
all heard what happened today, right? The judge this afternoon overturned.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, and it's actually, the legislation's been passed to throw this out.
So the judge
Eh,
threw out. I'm not saying anything dramatic is happening, but it sounds like it could.
Oh, just a couple weeks away. I think it's
Yeah.
very likely that the veto to be overridden.
True. He says
But-
everything that Walton's been doing is
Yeah. Mhm.
unconstitutional.
Yep.
So I don't know. I was going to ask him, like, I mean, it may be too soon for these guys to know what's going on, but that could open
Yeah.
another can of worms, but a positive thing. I mean, you could almost go normal. This just broke like a couple hours ago.
Right.
So, you know.
Right. I think we got a plan for the next couple of weeks. So.
Yeah,
Well,
there won't be a change. It won't change on a dime,
No.
turn on a dime. So we still need to come up with something.
I mean, it's 10 days if he can veto it, then he's gonna veto it.
Well, if he doesn't sign it in 10 days, it's law. So he has 10 days to veto it, sign it, or it becomes law. And I think we're on like day 8. So.
I
So,
like it, all right.
yeah, I don't know what he's doing. It was last week. It was passed.
So he has 2 days to veto it.
2, 3, something like that. Yeah. So I don't. I would have wished if he was going to veto it that day, so that they can start. Maybe that's it. He doesn't want to override it. He wants.
All right, let's talk about stuff that we can actually impact in this room.
We have to plan for the 250 restriction.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
We have to plan for football.
Right,
Is
yep,
what we need to
right.
plan for, and what direction we want to go on that 25, and then what we want to do about the hill, or spectators outside.
Right.
And then we also need to decide if we're actually going to sell tickets or just let people in this year. We've always sold tickets. I'm still going to have someone out there, whether we sell tickets or not, if we have a voucher, a punch card, or anything, or a
Yeah,
pass
yeah,
system.
yeah.
I'm still going to have to pay someone to be out there.
Mhm.
So that's the next
Okay.
question.
Yeah, I would say not selling tickets, but I was thinking that, well, you're not exchanging, the less exchange of
Yep.
and
I
getting
agree.
close is-
I agree.
Yeah.
No, there's no reason.
Right, especially we're talking about 25 people
Yeah.
at this point.
It's not gonna. If we're only having that small number of people, it's not gonna impact the budget
Right.
significantly. Like the significant impact was, not having it be unlimited, right?
Yeah.
So once we're down to 25, I'd say we don't need to charge people.
Okay. And is that the same for the soccers and for field hockey too?
What do you think?
Because we were talking to two parent or guardians per player, both sides. So you're talking 40 kids on a roster at the max, which is boys soccer. And we're never going to have that many out there. We're never going to have 160 people at a game.
No. Yeah, I would be consistent and just not charge.
And how does that impact us though, with the district goes and usually?
There are a lot of schools that weren't going to sell tickets this year.
Okay.
There's some more, but there were a lot that just.
So there's impact, but it's impacting us all kind of the same. Yeah, financially.
Yes,
yeah.
financially it's
Yeah, other than football, I can't believe it'd be much of an impact.
So would you like me to look at the model of the senior, junior parent?
Starting with that and then
Yeah.
moving, yeah.
And then look at homecoming for the kids?
What do you think?
I mean, it's 25.
Yep.
I guess, but
And
home,
if we can use the field, then I think it should be for underclassmen parents priority.
yeah, but are they having homecoming? Homecoming, the dance has been canceled, are they?
Yeah, but they're gonna try. They were gonna try to have a presentation of the crowns at the halftime
Okay.
of that game.
I'm set. How do you choose 25 kids?
Yeah, and then if you're choosing the crowns, and it's parents.
Well, is it going to be the kids that are in the that are
In the homecoming.
in
Yeah.
the homecoming? It's going to be the kids that are going to be in the homecoming court
How many are?
vote. There's usually there's 8 of each of there's 8 boys, 8 girls that start out, and then and some of them actually come from the football team and the cheerleading squad, and
But
so.
only 1 or 2 usually.
But yeah, there's a
If
couple.
they're- Yeah.
And then they invite the king and queen from last year to present. So it's close to 20 already.
Yeah,
Yeah. Probably just look at-
maybe that's it.
Right.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
That's true. Yep. And then what do we think, or what are our thoughts on those fans that are family members, fans that are on the hill?
I'm just concerned about safety. However, there are always kids on the hill,
Sure.
and we always have to deal with it.
Okay.
But
Can we put temporary lighting there and then restrict the area, like boarding it off or not really?
have one entrance and a different exit.
Yes.
Yeah,
something
to
of that
keep-
nature, and then have some of the security that we normally have down here, because we don't need as much
Right.
up there.
Yeah, that's true.
And kind of restrict it.
'Cause
like
we'll
I
have fewer
said.
people.
I don't think we should have all the middle schoolers there.
No.
I'm
No.
a middle schooler, it's gonna be devastated, but I
Right.
just don't think we should.
Right,
We should.
right.
Let it be, if we're gonna say we're letting seniors' parents in, which
Mhm.
I think it should be the seniors since we have the last number of games.
Yeah.
Right?
Then the lower classmen parents should have first dibs
And
on
that-
the hill.
But, and we're going to have to count the number of people, and I assume people are going to travel to see their kid play, to see wherever they can stand outside the stadium. The
I mean,
visiting.
They're going to try.
opposing teams?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Football players.
I know we
Yeah.
had some fans go up to Fleetwood, but it was first come, first served.
Mhm.
And I think it's very plain, and it's messaging coming out from the burst that there's just not going to be any away fans.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about in stadium, but most stadiums have hills that you can sit on,
Right,
or places
right.
where you
Okay, I'm gonna say, are we already asking other teams, bands not to come? Because I
We
know
have not started that yet.
because that would free up another 50 people to be able to come and see the game. Like
For football?
40. What?
Yeah.
Like marching band is like.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
bands and cheer, opposing bands and cheer are not traveling.
Right.
Oh, okay. So that's already not included in
That's
our.
already not included.
All right. Just making sure.
That's said for Burst Catholic, we want you to bring theirs.
Right.
Because they don't want to deal with this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you agree about the senior parents?
I think that's
said
fine.
that.
Yeah. I
I'm,
think so.
I'm like a little concerned about how that's going to work because it's going to be like, I don't know, Monday, kids are going to get a Schoology message saying, saying you've got 2 tickets and you got to let me know by Wednesday if your parents want them or not, or else they're going to somebody else.
Like a voucher.
Mhm.
And
And the voucher goes to seniors. And that's how, and then maybe a different kind of voucher for the hill.
How many senior players are there?
Five.
So there's only
5 players,
Four
4
cheerleaders
cheerleaders,
and
and 4 band members.
Which gets you to
Yeah.
That's
25.
yeah. I'm not going.
but like maybe learn or something.
Yeah, I'll go once.
Yeah.
Usually at the end, band gets better as the season goes on, and everybody else, kind of is a little flatter.
Okay. I just wanted to give you an update of what volleyball looks like.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure you might not have followed what they're making volleyball do.
So, yeah, in the
you
hallway.
can only have 25 people in the gym.
Mhm.
So
Isn't that like 2 teams and the coaches?
Oh, it's not even the
it's
subs.
not
Yeah.
even.
Oh,
we have
wow.
to- yeah,
Yeah.
It's not even. So once you have the players on both the floors, so that's 12 players on the floor. We're down to 1 coach on each side. You have to have 2 people at the table to keep score. That's a requirement by the PIAA. You have 2 referees. That's going to leave you 2 to 3 on each bench for substitutes, and all the rest of the substitutes will have to sit
In the hallway.
in the hallway.
Yep.
We have a scrimmage tomorrow. We're working through some logistics in terms of opening those indoors so the kids can actually see. Because you're asking kids to sub into a game that they're not even watching.
Right.
You do a video feed, like we do with the games and so.
Into another room. For the JV, we talked about doing that because the JV teams will have to either, if you're a away team, you're just sitting on your bus or you're sitting in the classroom somewhere waiting to play. Our JV team tomorrow night won't show up until 7 because we just put them in an LGI in the LGI room anyway.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that, you can only have 25 in the gym, I can put 44 on a bus. But those are some of the things that we talk about inside and outside that don't make sense, but we're gonna just have to keep navigating and ask for people's patience.
Yep. Okay. Hopefully things change 2-3 weeks
Hopefully
out.
things change. I'm not sure what was next on.
Oh, I didn't have this. This must have been Mr. Hurley's MOU with the union. I did not. The 2 that I added were the weight room and the activity fee.
Oh, okay. The weight room will start on Friday. They'll start moving everything out on Friday, and I think less than 3 weeks.
Yeah, they'll start moving things out on, no, it's the
18th, Friday.
The 18th, next Friday, the 18th. No, this Friday, the
Friday.
18th. And then the 22nd, 23rd, the new floor gets installed. And then the 28th is when the equipment's supposed to start coming in. The HVAC system should be tied up at the end of this month as far as that whole area over there that the board approved,
Okay.
getting work done and stuff.
All right. So it's getting started. So we have 4 minutes left. Activity fee. Are we not having one this year? Or?
Well, that was Mr. Hurley and I spoke about that because a lot of the clubs are going online and having to do it online, but we still have to pay those club directors.
Right.
So we had delayed. Mrs. Levingood and I sat down, and it is a pain to reimburse people if the season gets
Right.
canceled.
Yep.
So we pushed the activity fee due date until October 1st.
Okay.
That gets us started, gets everybody a couple games, and hopefully we have a good idea of if we're going to continue or not.
Right.
Okay.
So we just didn't feel like to pay it right away.
I got
It's
ya.
a smart move.
Yep. That's good. Yeah, I just hadn't heard of one being due.
Yeah.
So.
I got an email today, about it being due by October.
Oh, okay.
So we talked through that, and knowing that we had to pay those club directors,
Mhm.
we just thought we'd continue
Yeah.
with it.
Okay.
Numbers for teams look pretty good. They're pretty stable, and I was a little worried because of the whole virtual, being able to get to practice, especially at the middle school.
Yeah.
The only place that we're low right now is cross country for middle school, which is weird because we usually have a pretty good turnout.
Right.
But it's my understanding that the 6th grade class as a number. It could just be a low class this year. And then middle school.
Do we have the same cross-country coach as last year?
Yes.
The middle school? Okay.
Yep. Nothing's changed.
All right.
It's just the amount of kids that have come out. And then middle school girls soccer is down, but in the club circuit for 6th and 5th grade, it's high.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if this 6th and 7th grade class is just not really a sport-related class, but everything else has been stable.
All right.
Okay.
And we did change, which Mr. Miller, you know, we always had a transportation form if a student goes off to another school. If the parent fills out the transportation form, they can take them from that away contest. They don't have to ride the bus back. To alleviate some of the congestion on buses and in transportation, we allowed for parents to drive their own kid to a game if it's okay with the coach, and then take them back. So that's going to give us a little space on those buses.
Okay.
Okay. So we don't know what the MOU item was with the
Oh, the MOU item?
Yeah.
The MOU item was, we have a football slot, a paid football coaching position, that was not listed on our spreadsheet, which was my fault. So when I read those off to Dr. Cooper and he was putting those in the new teacher's contract, we missed that spot.
Okay.
So we'd like to fill it, but we need the MOU. It was there of the previous years. It just didn't get listed.
Okay.
So we would like to fill that spot. We have a candidate. We just need to have it in the teacher's contract.
We just need to update the MOU.
Yeah, we just have to do an MOU
Right.
for that particular
So,
position.
And there shouldn't be any issues with it. It's been there in the past.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. I have one quick thing. The cameras, are they installed or?
They're not here yet.
They're not here.
They're supposed to be here the 16th. We're going to have some trouble inside because we need to add a server, it sounds like, down towards that end of the school.
Okay.
Outside, we should be good.
Okay.
And so that affects volleyball, but we should still be able to film through Huddle using an iPad.
Okay.
So I think we can stream with that. We'll try to stream with that too.
And then where are we streaming to?
The NFHS network will be where we stream from the outside.
Okay, but in the iPad too, the temporary?
Not sure yet on that
Okay.
one. We might have to do a little wiggle. We might have to
Okay,
do it
Facebook
through
or-
Facebook
yeah.
to start,
Okay. All right.
where we can go for free. It just won't be a very pretty, view.
But I mean, we're not allowing any fans into the gym.
Correct. We're not allowing anybody inside, so they're really behind the eight ball.
Yeah.
The last thing is our middle school trainer, which I know was not on the agenda. His last day is Wednesday. That's at Tower Health Group.
Oh,
We
okay.
have a couple candidates that I'm going to interview tomorrow that we just got. But we could be without a middle school trainer over there for a week or 2 weeks.
We have potential
Which would
candidates?
be,
or-
pardon?
We have candidates for?
We have a couple candidates.
Yeah.
Yes, they're young, but we do have some candidates.
Okay.
It's not ideal.
No. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody want to raise anything? We're right on time. No? All right. Well, thank you. That'll close the extracurricular meeting.